Everyone, welcome back to Formula One Tier 2. It is season 18. We're now in the second half of the season. We started the second half last time at China. It was pretty close between the leaders. In the end, a penalty got Sabi the win instead of Shesh, who was leading majority of the race, but an unfortunate penalty for speeding in the pit lane made him lose the fight. Fontenau jumped into Kane second, also because of that penalty. And overall, it was a very, very exciting race. So, would recommend to watch that one if you haven't seen this one. But I will do that after this one because it's Singapore. Singapore is always very exciting to race on. It will always be a good showing of skill as well as aggressiveness and car control. You may see a new name here. It's Kewa Kitsnami. I don't know how you pronounce it else. It's the Czechia guy. They are the new reserve, so I'm excited to see what they can do. But let me quickly grab the standings because Sabi, because of his win, is looking more and more in contention for the championship. We have Fontenau still in the lead. After being sadly disconnected from his race, Helenen has dropped the P13 in the race. And with Sabi winning the race, Sabi now stands second in the standings behind Fontenau with 30 points. Helenen has 57 points after not scoring any. Greatly, the standings say that he's 0 points behind, but it's an error that can be made. People also finished below the points. The Red Bulls had a pretty strong showing at first, but Janica kept losing it at one point and collected his teammate in that. Other than that, the Red Bulls have been working pretty amazingly, so I doubt that any of those incidents will happen again. But yeah, Depop didn't score anything, stays at 51 points. Edmo in the Haas got 5th and is now tied at 51 points with Depop. Then we have Presamu, who did an impressive job to got P4 last race. Watch out for him. We have first from McLaren's with Tichy Boom, followed by Cassell. Also had a very up-down race in China. Only got P8. Luke didn't show, both of the Mercedes didn't show twice in a row. I don't know what's up with them, but basically the whole of Mercedes is out. And Shiz, even though he's only driven 3 races, one of those being a DNF at Spain, he has climbed up. He got 4th in Jeddah. He got 3rd in China, even though it should have been 1st. Will he get 2nd this time? It only remains to be seen, but watch out for Shiz. Janica, as mentioned before, had that collision with T-Pop, but before that the Red Bulls were both going pretty well, so keep an eye on Janica. Then we have Arctic. Arctic hasn't had the best of luck, but we'll see if he can climb back up if he joins. AJ has had consistent P11s and P8s. Let's hope he can break that streak today and get in the top 5. Mighty Jump did pretty well last week. Got 7th, sits in P15 in standings. Naked Champ has missed the last 2 rounds. So far his only point score finish was in the first round in Japan. But he did get the fastest lap in that one, so we'll see if he can climb back up today. Then we have Bundes, who hasn't shown up a lot. And we have Truco also has missed the last 2 races. Both of them are in the lower standings. And then we have Gastiban, who only had 1 points finish in Barcelona, but that get taken down because of track limits. And that means he only scored 2 points. Oh no, sorry, he scored 3 points. He also scored in Canada. My apologies. And then as last we have Max, who is listed below all the reserves. But he's yet to score a single point. Will this be the time for him? I don't actually see him in the list, but if he joins, he may as well go for the points. In the constructors, it's still Ferrari at the top. How else could it be? Being followed by now Sauber. Then it's Red Bull. Williams has fallen to 4th in the table. Then we have Haas, which I've just noticed. Edmo has scored in every race this season. Now that's not, it is quite impressive. Only one other driver has done it. And that driver is Font. Font has scored in the top 5 every race. But it is showing a good consistency for him. Then it's Racing Bulls, McLaren. With the acquirance of shares, Aston Martin has jumped up. But then you have Alpine, which is made of pretty new reserves in 10th. And between them is Mercedes, who once again aren't looking to show up. So I don't know what's going on with Mercedes. Let's see, Jack is also in. Jack is a reserve. He's reserving for T-Pop, it looks like. Let's hope he can bring Red Bull back up. Let's see, what are my predictions? Well, I would say obviously Font as winner, but you know, it's Singapore. Font and Singapore do not mix well. Sabi is joining later today, but if I had to make a guess, I would say it's Shiz, followed by Sabi. And I think Helenen can take 3rd. Yeah, I think Shiz, Sabi, Helenen. But we may be surprised. Maybe Prasamut takes 3rd, or Jack in his infinite chaotic nature can take the victory. Who knows? As I'm just going to make sure the audio works, because if it doesn't, it sucks. Oh, we will see if Williams... You're either Kit themselves or you're a friend of Kit. Well, I'm excited to see what Kit can do. It's always nice to see a reserve join in the middle of the season and just get thrown into it. I just hope they can deal with the track being Singapore. As Cassell has joined, Max has joined, we have Pitch here now as well. Did Max race under Serbia last time? I don't remember what flag Max used last time, but I don't think it was Serbia. Now all we can do is just wait. The only thing I do know for sure is that Sabi is coming later, and other than that, I don't know who else is still coming. But that would then leave out one, no, not one Alpine, one McLaren, one, we have both as mountains, we have, oh, the one McLaren and two Mercedes. So once again, almost the whole grid is here, except the Mercedes. I think both the Mercedes have missed 3 races just in a row, which I think is already Helen is starting, so that may be the sign to go. We have Arctic now as well, so yeah, we're literally missing Sabi, and then we have everyone except the Mercedes. Which is quite insane in my opinion. So we got confirmation from Helen that we're just waiting on Sabi. So for everyone just dropping in, we are just waiting on one driver. He did let know that he was going to run a bit late, so let's see what else to talk about. I have done the stand-ins, we've had predictions. I mean, since we're waiting anyway, I can just go over each driver. Starting with Font. Yeah, Font is one of the original racers in Aero. I'm not going to go over everyone, just everyone who has is worth watching this. Yeah, we can't start it, mate. We're missing a driver. Oh, never mind. We're not missing a driver. Sabi has joined. So we should be up and ready to race. I think the message has been dropped. Yeah, everyone is ready and up. So we will get qualifying underway shortly. So not the four explanations, but the one to watch this season's are Font, Jenica, Atmo, Frasmu, Helenan, Shiz, Tichy kinda, Arctic, and definitely Sabi. I think Sabi and Fontanau is going to be quite a rivalry. There will be 3 to 2 this season. But enough talking about what can be, what should be, what can happen. We're here to watch cars go fast. As the qualifying session will start momentarily. As we see, everyone is connecting. Not a lot of people having a good internet, but that doesn't matter as long as no contact happens. I've never actually seen this time out. 2, 1. Yeah, first time I've seen it time out. That's probably tire allocation. I don't know. I haven't raced a lot of... Oh, God, no. I'm sorry for the drivers. Naked Champ is not happy with the rain. Cassell is kind of happy with the rain. We can see Ben going out. Where's Ben? Where's Ben? Where's Ben? Actually, we can see the rookie Kit going out first. It's full wets as well. Oh, Lord, I'm sorry for the drivers. Naked Champ has already given up. Oh, that's sad. But yeah, the Marina Bay Street Circuit, for everyone not aware, turn 1, 2, 3 is chaotic. Turn 4 leads in the DRS zone. Turn 5, heavy braking for 2 90-degree corners. Then a pretty short straight with the kink, and again a 90-degree corner. Kit is handling themselves well, but it's just an outlap, although there is a bit of sliding. Long turn, hit a wall into what used to be the Singapore Sling. A very tight hairpin, but you need a good exit because this in dry conditions will be a DRS spot, and it's also a pretty long straight, so you want a good exit anyway. Then the newly added DRS sector, you used to go through that little chicane that Kit is running into. There used to be like 3 or 4 of them in a row, which made it quite funny to drive through, as Kit is now starting up their lap. They may have a bit of traffic from the McLarens, but maybe also not. As Benno also starts that lap, so after Kit we will go down to Ben. And then I think Sabi? No, Mighty. Right now he's in the middle of traffic. The McLarens are slowing down for them, so that's good. Good awareness shown from both McLarens. And these conditions, especially for a rookie, like I'm sure Kit has a lot of time in the game, but these are not the conditions you want on your debut. But I have to say, Kit is handling themselves really well. This time evades the wall, takes the curb, nice. Entering the hairpin. They must be running a higher traction control. The car control is pretty smooth. As that may have been contact with the wall, which isn't good. That move definitely didn't help that lap time, and that's an invalidation. No, the track is still green, so that the lap is still valid. As there they come. It was a bumpy last sector, but other than that, it was a pretty good lap. Here comes Ben. Over the limit. No, within the limit. Across the line. And that's a bit slower. So it's a 7/10 gap now. We'll see on what Mighty can do. Across the line. 5 seconds slower. That must have been a bad lap for them. The other Williams about to cross the line now, back into pit lane. And we have one of the Red Bulls. Racing Bull. It's Prezimu. Coming across the line now. Just a bit faster. Not by much, but it's by a bit. Max is 17 seconds behind. Atmo is 12 seconds behind. Gasol makes it a Racing Bull 1-2. 2.8 seconds faster. There is a lot of discrepancies at the moment. What can Font do? Font goes even 1.8 faster. Then we have, I think that's Jack. Jack goes third. 2 seconds behind Font. Then we have Sabi. Sliding through the final corner, just 4 tenths behind Fontanel. But he was fastest in the final sector. What can Naked Champ do? Naked Champ puts this on P5. Pretty good lap time from him. Then we have AJ. AJ goes to 6th. Then we have the first of the McLarens. I think that's Titchy. No, it's Arctic. Titchy has really dropped down from that teammate. As Kit is heading into pit road. There goes Arctic. Arctic across the line, P10. Not pretty good, but I have seen people do worse. Then we have Titchy. Titchy across the line, P6. 4.2 seconds. There is a big gap of 20 seconds. And it isn't an outlier too. It's 17 seconds, 9 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds. There are big gaps, and I don't know why. So we've got Chris now starting his lap. I think Janica starting a lap. No. One of the Hazes. One of the... Oh, so everyone is going for multiple laps then. There's yellow flag. That's one of the McLarens letting a Ferrari through. That Ferrari must be Ben. It indeed is Ben. He's already 1.2 seconds faster through sector 1. So what may be happening is that the rain is clearing a bit. Now with 20 cars on track. So I think most people are either on out laps or cool down laps, actually, is the correct term. As Ben does goes fastest in sector 2. That was a really nice sector. But now he needs to line it all together for sector 3. As there are some yellow flags over the track. As he comes towards the line. I doubt this is going to be the fastest lap. It won't be, but it's enough for P6. He jumped up a couple of places, but the wet qualifying does make it hard for racing here. And if the session is dry, then that makes it even worse. That's where Prasmus heading into the pit lane. Then we have Mighty Jump. Mighty Jump is continuing on. But this isn't a pretty good lap. It will be better than what he did, but P11 is not optimal. As into the pit lane, then I think we have Fontenau. Fontenau cutting into the pit lane. Not what you're supposed to do, but hey, the game doesn't mind. Chris is on an out lap. Sabi went faster by over a second. Rebel. Is that Jack? No, it's not Jack, it's Janica. Janica goes third, but she's right behind them, takes second. Font has now a lot to compete to in order to get back ahead of Sabi. So we have a Williams approaching. Is that K1? That's not K1. McLaren finishing up the lap. That's Arctic. Arctic does continue on. He is a second faster. He jumps to P9, so that's really well done, but his teammate behind him is also going faster. So it will be interesting to see what this leads to. He takes P9 back from his teammate. Amazing. Span is now back in the pit lane, so that's Fontenau, who just exited the pit lane on intermediates. We're seeing several people out on intermediates now, I think. Yeah, the people are split on what tire to use. And I think, honestly, intermediate is going to be the better tire option. So we have an Alpine approaching the line. It's Max. Max does continue on. He goes just across the line, and that will be in 5 seconds faster. But he may want to park it into the pit lane, put on a new set of fresh inters, because the hards are not the tire to be on anymore. As Shiz proves it. Shiz goes 1.4 seconds faster on a set of intermediates. We have not Max, this is AJ. AJ just started the lap. Red Bull is in the pit lane. So Prasmu, that is Prasmu also on a set of inters. You will see everyone switching to inters now for the final few laps of this qualifying session. Yeah, Arctic is going into the pit lane. He wants those new tires. And we have Fontenau starting his lap. No traffic ahead of him, which will be really helpful in his battle. One of the Haases who just exited the pits is already coming back into them. Which isn't something I would do, but And we have Jack. Jack is on inters. He is on a flying lap. Let's see what it becomes. That is a really fast lap from Jack in the Red Bull. It's one of the Racing Bulls is coming out of the pit lane. So there are yellow flags. Just people were letting people through. I think Max just jumped up. He did. But Max really should be getting back into the pit lane and get a set of inters. Because these wets are not going to help him too much. And we have, is that Williams? Is that a Williams? That is a Williams going into the pit lane. So we'll stick on board with AJ. AJ also being faster, but AJ did heed the message, and look where he is on those intermediates. I think everyone got the message now, and everyone is going to go in for those intermediates. Then we have, I think, Cassell. No, it's not Cassell. It's his teammate Presum who jumps up to P7, which is pretty impressive. How will Font answer to this? Very strongly, almost 2 seconds out of Shish. So that's a very, very good lap set by the Ferrari. We have now one of the Haas's approaching. Is it Naked? No, it's Edmo. Edmo takes 5th, which is a pretty good position to have. And we have Rabu. Is that Jenica? No, it's Jack. Where is Jack? Give me Jack. There is Jack. Jack is heading to the pit. Of course. Then we have Cassell. Cassell is on an outlap, so we don't care about him. We never care about him. Elenan hasn't set a lap yet. Which is surprising to say the least. And when he does, he gets P2. He is back on form, at least for now. Sabi, that's Mighty. Mighty is now on a flying lap. Several people are fighting to get into the pit lane. Then we have Jenica. Outlap. Then we have Ben. Flying lap. And being faster as well. As he goes through the final corner, it won't be the fastest, but it's enough for P10, so there is that. We have a McLaren behind. McLaren doesn't do anything. Then there is Razimu back into pit lane. Alpine back into pit lane. Fontenau back into pit lane. Edmo back into pit lane. Chris still on wets for some reason. Shiz is on an outlap. Fontenau was just on a cooldown lap, same with Edmo. Then we have, is that a Williams I spy? I spy with my little eye. It's Cassell. Cassell is on a flying lap, it looks like, but he may have hit that wall or got wheel spin. Either way, this isn't going to be fastest lap, but it's enough for P2. They're inching closer and closer to Fontenau. Then we have, is that Arctic? It isn't Arctic, it's Stitchy. Then we have, is that Mighty? It's not Mighty, it's Sabi. Sabi just starts his lap. Then we have one of the Williams across the line. Think that was for an outlap. Then we have Mighty. Mighty across the line, 7 seconds faster. He goes to P6, ahead of his teammate. Which is quite surprising me. I just want to see how Sector 1 is looking for Sabi. He is going faster, but doubt it's fast enough. As I think Ben just went across the line again. Yes, he did. McLaren jumped up. Arctic now P7. Impressive stuff. Jack is on an outlap. And Fontenau. Fontenau is even a second faster. The track is drying up massively, and Font may or may not start another lap after this. 3, 2, 1. Checkered flag. Font does not make it, but he does go almost under the 134s. There was an amazing lap. Then we have Edmo across the line. Then we have Shiz coming up to the line. And that's P2 for him at the moment. Then we have Presimu, I think. Where's Presimu? Give me Presimu on the map. There he is. No, it's Cassell. Cassell is into the pits. Then we have Ditchy. Ditchy, there you are, my friend. He jumps up to P10. Then we have Sabi. Sabi goes third. Then we have Max. Max is coming across the line now. 8 seconds faster, but still P17. Then we have Helenan. Then we have the Haas of Naked. Goes across the line, P16 as one of the Williams did something funny. Here's Kit. Kit goes P6. Really nice on debut. So we then have Janica. Yeah, it is Janica. Janica is not improving. So that's qualifying done for them. Then we have Ben. Ben is one of the final ones. Across the line, P5. Where did he get that lap from? Arctic heading to pit lane, but Jack is the final one who will set the lap. And Jack will stay in P3 with just 5 tenths. And now we just have to wait on Arctic to park it into pit lane. But that was an exciting qualifying session. Why Chris didn't go out again on Inters, I don't know, but we already know the starting grid. Just went over it real quick. As we're now heading into the main event. As it looks dry, which is already a good thing. Makes it a bit easier for the drivers. Imagine if, like, the race would also have been wet. People would have died. I'm quickly going to grab myself a drink. It's formation lap. Nothing happens on the formation lap. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Imagine if there wasn't a formation lap and this was just race start and I completely missed it. That would have been horrendous. The biggest surprise though is Sabi. You would expect Sabi to be one of the top runners, and here he isn't even in the top 3. As Cassell and Ben are having a bit of a disagreement. I'm also very impressed by Kit. How do I say, by Kit being able to qualify that close to Elenan. But we have Cassell, Ben and Arctic on hards. Everyone else is on the mediums. As Cassell lets a bit of a gap form. For some reason. As Font has already reached the grid. He'll be waiting for a wall before the race starts. But this is a good thing, it gives him time to get rid of the nerves a bit. As Shiz parks up, there we have Jack. Sabi also parks up. Then we have Cassell. Ben was done waiting. And he totally overshoots his big box. Oh, I'm sorry, Ben. Oh, that was hilarious. Kit also overshoots the big box. Elenan does it. One of the McLarens got reset. And now it's waiting for Chris to line up as last on the grids. Kind of off center. Why are the lights flashing like that? It doesn't matter anymore. It's lights out. Away we go. Shiz is ghosted. Will he be ghost for turn 1? Looks like it. He cuts it a bit. But it looks like everyone got through turn 1 alright. No. The Williams got in a bit of trouble. Both Williamses are moving down the order. This is not what you want to see. Ben has made up a place. Shiz has defended well from Jack, but Font defended even better into turn 1. Jack runs a bit wide. Then we have a spin. Who is it? Kit and Cassell both spun out. I don't know if it was reckless drive, a bit fast turn-in from Cassell or a rookie mistake from Kit, but both of them have been reset to the back of the grid. Luckily, it wasn't big contact, so both of them are able to line back up, but yeah, they will need to catch up a bit. Back at the front, the top 4 is really fighting it out. As Kit gets the first penalty already in lap 1. Ben has made a bit of a gap behind. And has room to run closer in front without affecting Dirty Air. Janica slammed into the wall. Which is not a good thing to do, but hey, I won't stop you. But if Ben can make this stint work on the hards, he is on a good position for the rest of the race. As we have a yellow flag, it is Kit. I don't know if Kit is really just a qualifier or if he got damaged or his nerve has been broken, but that's not what you want to see from someone on the debut after such a good quali. As Shiz is really up the rear wing of Font. Jack is creating a bit of a gap to Sabi. Sabi is really struggling to keep the pace here. Janica has overtaken Ben. Elenan is right on top of them, but then there's a bit of a gap. Arctic is under pressure from the Haas. There is contact. And I think that is on Arctic. Edmo was there and he stared in. There wasn't a lot of room, but you can't just turn into each other like that. That also ruined a bit of the exit of Edmo, so that means that AJ has a shot, overshoots it, puts Edmo in the wall. Edmo really can catch a break. That one was definitely on AJ, went a bit too deep, and Atmo is having to box. Meanwhile, Helenen has gotten past Ben, but Ben has the advantage of DRS. He's pulling back alongside, he's too far gone, and that's the DRS gap gone. But remember, everyone is on mediums, Ben is on hards. So Ben really needs to let the tires come to him, keep them in a good condition, and then try to push as Kit is out of the race. Kit has crashed. There is no safety car. He retired on track. Hold on for a second. As we're back to green, Kit has dropped out as Shish is still very much on the tail of Fontenau. Sabi has gotten past Jack and is now chasing after them. Ben is really just driving in his own world, letting Jenica and Helenen fight, and fight they do. As there will be DRS, I think, for the Red Bull. No, Jenica was just out of DRS. So this will help the Williams of Helenen return to form a bit in the Constructors' battle. They are fighting with Red Bull. So gaining this position is huge for Helenen. And yeah, the rear wing on the Red Bull stays close, so that is Helenen securing a bit of breathing space, although Jenica is catching up again. We got confirmation that Kit's rear wing was fucked. I know how bad it was, as Cassell has crashed out, and that calls out the safety car. Just as Atmo pits for that front wing. So that's a good thing for him. He won't get lapped. He will get the lap back. But yeah, safety car. And Cassell is not happy. As there are people into the pit lane to get rid of the tires. Will Ben follow them? No, Ben continues on, why would he? Ah! So Cassell was in the dirty air and the car just didn't take it very well. As 10-second pen. Oh no, no, no! AJ has gotten a speeding penalty. Max has a penalty. Wing changers all around. Chris is also going into the pit lane. Also wing change. As we I will get out before Atmo, so yeah, there's safety car line. He does get out at. Atmo still makes the overtake though, and has to back down. That's funny. Let's jump back to the lead of this safety car. And watch everyone close up again. Sabi, Font, Mighty, Naked and Max have really taken a gamble here. I understand why Ben and Arctic continued on with those hearts. Pepe is done. Cassell is so done that he says see you next season. As everyone is now lining up, I think AJ pits again to get rid of that penalty. That's smart. Because he only loses, what, 7 seconds instead of 10? But he will join back off the grid. Just noticed he has Schumacher's number, that's funny. Let's see, who are the ones to watch? Well, obviously Sabi and Font are under pressure because the tires. Ben is under pressure because he doesn't have the experience Arctic has. Arctic has to heavily defend against Shish. Which is fun. Mighty on all the tires, Naked on all the tires, Jack will overtake them probably just after restart. Good to see him back on track, by the way. Love Jack, don't love his formation laps. Still mad about Silverstone. Then we have Helenan, who hopes with his early pit stop and change to hard tires that he can make up some places. Max is in the top 10 right now, but he is on those older mediums. Sorry. Titsy just pitted, Janica just pitted. Prasimo. I think Prasimo can climb up pretty good. Then we have Chris, Abmo. AJ is just coming through the final corners. He needs to catch up. Because I think the safety car is going to go again this lap. Wait, why are people overtaking? What happened to Helenan? Oh, did Helenan spin under safety car? Oh, Helenan. Oh no. This is sad. So Helenan, who already was suffering enough, just suffered even more. I don't know what he has done to the racing gods. But holy fuck do they not like this guy. Last week he was in a pretty good position and then he disconnects. Now he was on a reasonable strategy ahead of people on the same strategy and just... He spins. Safety car is in this lap. Where's AJ? AJ is close, but... Yeah, he will close up enough. Kit has seen enough. Kit has left. As AJ is catching on. Which is nice. Yeah, he's got them just in time so we can hop back to Font and Sabi. As Font has gone and he has got Sabi off guard. This is amazing. Ben was sharp. Shiz was sharper. He's right on the back end of the McLaren. No overtake yet though. Jack immediately passes Naked, gets a bit in trouble with Mighty. But he wastes no time trying to make these overtakes. He wants to overtake those on ordered tires. And it's quite a fight, and there goes Mighty. I think Mighty steered in too quickly and Jack wasn't fully there yet. But it's not a move we'd like to see. And this has completely destroyed Mighty's race. Who now destroys Mighty's race even more. Guys, can we fucking leave each other alive? At least AJ waited for Helenen. What nice of him. Oh dear God. Max just ran into the wall. That leaves Prasmu and Jenica through. Prasmu almost hits the wall. Chris is right up there. Edmo runs wide. Is there anyone who hasn't forgotten how to race safely? Apparently not, because Naked Champ now gets smashed into the wall. God damn it, Jack. That's 2 people collected in 1 lap. Damn, this guy is like me. The DRS is enabled, which allows for even more fucking chaos. Ben has been overtaken by Shish, which isn't surprising at all. Don't tell me, Naked Champ. Jack pits to retire Chump. Slowly approaches the pit line. Edmo enters the pit lane. Oh my god. I said this race would be chaotic. I feel like I have delivered on that promise. We've only been racing for less than 10 laps. And we already have 3 guys out, 1 safety car, and a shit ton of collisions. And I'm all here for it. And now the strategy of Shiz pitting for those tires is really paying off as he is catching Sabi and Font. So is this the time that Shiz gets back at his win for China? He does make the move on Sabi really cleanly. Nothing Sabi can do. But can he defend against the DRS? He can, because Sabi makes a mistake, runs wide, opens the DRS, but there is not much he can do. So there was a bit of a cut. Sabi is struggling a lot here. I don't know if he has damage. Sabi is missing half of his front wing. What the hell is going on with these guys? Ben is under pressure from Arctic Scroll. Well, under pressure is a big word. There's still a couple of seconds between them. But Sticky Boom overtakes Jenica. Jenica is still in there. Goes a bit off track, but has to stick behind. The gap was really wrong about these two, because I already thought 2 seconds was too big a gap. Shish is just not backing down. Shish is not going for the gap. He's either waiting for the end of this straight, or he's going to take the DRS of the next lap. He's going to take the DRS of the next lap. I fucking love this. Ben is still under pressure, but still holding his cool, honestly. Jack is saying that F124 was preferable, which is a sentence I never expected Jack to say. Oh, Sabi, of course, has to pit for that front win. So that means Ben is back in third. And Arctic is losing a bit of time, though he did gain a bit again. So he may have DRS, he may not have. DRS open, so now he can put real pressure on Ben. Speaking of real pressure, it's finally happened. Shiz has overtaken Fontenau. But Fontenau needs to look at the bigger picture. He can't afford to have a risky fight. Even if it means finishing second, he needs to focus on Sabi. Sabi has a lot of traffic to fight through. He isn't in the points anymore. Just know if this was in real life, teams would have literally gone bankrupt because of the amount of front wings that needed to be replaced. But yeah, Fontenau really struggling on those softs. He needs to pit sooner or later. And this puts Sabi in an... or not Sabi, this puts Shiz in a perfect opportunity to win this race. With Font sliding away and him increasing the gap more and more. Although Font does make use of the DRS, which does help him, his tires are just getting too old to reliably hold the grip that's needed, especially for Sector 2. Because Sector 2 is just so tricky and windy. So Ben can or Shiz can just take it a bit easier. Ditchy is still not overtaken Ben. Ben is doing really well to defend her. He's even backed him up into Prasimo and his teammates. And Janica, yellow flags. Why is the yellow flags? I don't know. Meanwhile, Max is holding up Mighty and Edmo. Actually, Edmo is now fighting Mighty. Easy overtake, done and dusted. And the Haas just shoots away from the Sauber. Are we looking here? Yeah, the gap is now really over a second, so Shiz can now just pull away from Font. Font needs to decide when he wants to make his pit stop. If he wants to have any chance of winning this race. Ben, don't ask me how, is still holding on to P3. Which is looking really good for him. Helenen has overtaken AJ. I think Arctic is going into the pit lane. Yes. He doesn't speed, so that's good for him. But yeah, those 11 lap old hearts are going off and making room for mediums, as well as a new front wing. Hate how the animation just shows the win. Sabi is going the fastest. But I don't know how much help that is when the gap to his rivals is just so big. And he also has to make another pit stop. I doubt he won these tires until the end. Tichy has finally gotten past the Ferrari. Prasimo is fancying himself a move inside the Ferrari. Not that he'll succeed that now, as we have Max off track. He's back on track. DRS is on for these guys, which will help Ben defend against Prasimo, and really it's best for Ben to just hop into the pit lane, grab a fresh set of tires. Fontenau, no. Oh my fucking no. Fontenau gets a speeding in the pit lane penalty. And he will have to overtake a couple of cars, as Ben does defend really well against Prasamu. Prasamu is more under pressure from Janica as well. Tichy has pulled away from Ben. This group will also have to pit soon, but the problem is Ben needs to go to mediums. So Ben needs to go until at least lap 18, I would say. Naked Champ has crashed out and there's another safety car. Or at least it's a virtual. And I think Janica overtook under yellow flags. But yeah, it looks like a VSC. Let me actually see one of the signs at the side of the road. Yeah, VSC. This is good for Ben, means he can get rid of his tires. Font still has to contend with the penalty and Sabi is right behind him. The thing is, Sabi's hards are 3 laps old, Font's are just put on, so I'm surprised Shiz didn't pit there. Immediately yellow flags. Don't know why. Ben is still ignoring the pit lane, but yeah, he kind of has to. The tires are old, but he is pushing them quite well, so I know Ben has struggled with tire saving in the past. So to see him now being on older tires, racing his heart out, is really showing that he is learning. Even though he's new, he is learning new strategies and everything. As Sabi, yeah, he knows Font has the penalty, but he also knows that his tires will fall off a cliff, or Font can drive until the end of the race, no problem. So he needs to save his tires a bit. As Shiz almost has a free pit stop. Which he doesn't use yet. Because that will mean having to drive too long on mediums. Yeah, Shiz is just in a very good advantage here. Especially since Font has the penalty. Chris has overtaken... no, actually I was looking at the wrong car. Ben is still defending against Helenen. Helenen getting back to P5 here will be good, as Max has another moment. DRS open. Helenen decides to not go for it yet. He will wait until this DRS zone. Makes perfect use of the width of the track. Onto the straight, DRS open, he will pull to the inside. Yeah, there he goes. Moved on. Ben knows it's done, doesn't fight it. And that's Helenen back up in P5, so that's a pretty good thing for him, as Janica has spun and is losing positions. And he rejoins between Sabi and Font. So this is really annoying Sabi, who now is in the dirty air and can do little to none against the Red Bull ahead of him, as Font is going to overtake Chris here. And maybe he gets led by his teammates, as Chris just... I don't know what Chris was doing, but he is now ghosting. And I think Sabi has made the move, yeah. Ben has let his teammate by and is now going to box. He pits within the limit, so no consequences for him. And he will have just 14 laps remaining on these medium tires. Meanwhile, the gap here is 1.5 after the chaos that happened back there. And Shiz really has a free pit stop here, so I don't know why he isn't pitting yet. As Edmo now gets a penalty, as if it couldn't get worse for him. Ben does rejoin in P11, so there is a good chance of points for him. As is Shiz going to box this lap or... Nope. As Font is now on the rear end of Helenen. DRS wide open. Sabi doesn't have that privilege. And Max has crashed. You would suggest if someone crashes there that there is at least a safety car, but no, there's just yellow flags. As that overtake will be rendered illegal, he gives the position back as he should. And he's free to try again. This time he can do it, but the gap with Sabi is really there, so... But all this fighting is really helping one man and one man only, and that's Shiz. Like, even if Shiz gets a time penalty, he will still win the race. Because Font has a penalty, and Sabi is either going to face horrible tire drop-off, or is going to have to pit again, so... This really is Shiz's race to win. I might have seen it wrong, but is that damage? No, there is no damage. No, there is damage. He's missing an end plate. Font is dragging around a damaged car around Singapore, and he's still pulling a gap to Sabi. Oh, that's actually amazing, but he needs to get past these guys. The dirty air is not helping him at all. But Helenen is still his championship rival, and Helenen is not going to let him by. In fact, I think Helenen may even decide to back him up into Sabi. As Font goes wide again, the damage is really getting to him. And it does allow Sabi to catch up to him. All he had to do was stay within the speed limit and nothing would have happened. Like, he will be very much fine. What now happens is that Font is constantly under pressure. Because Sabi is going to get the position from him. And he knows it. So now AJ is in the pit lane. Just needs a bit of water. As we're coming across another big opportunity here. And this time Fonts need to take it because looking behind him, we have Sabi in DRS range. So Font may end up horribly screwed. If he doesn't make the move, he puts it alongside. And he makes the overtake, but in doing that, he does allow Sabi a chance to also get by. So he still is ahead of Sabi. Helenen decides to pit. He has damage, I believe. But all that just to get behind Sabiek. Oh, it's amazing. Like, nothing against Font, but as it looks like, yeah, there is a wind change, so there was damage involved there. Font is getting frustrated, but he can't get too frustrated because Sabi is right there. He needs to pass smart. He goes for the move. There is contact as Sabi is following him through. So that was easy pickings for Sabi, and Presumu is just left there. Old Hearts, no chance to fight back. It's between the championship rivals now. And again, if Font had just stuck to the speed limit, he would have been fine. He would have been fine, as Shiz has actually hit. And he's still 6.5 seconds ahead. Shiz is going to cruise to victory. He doesn't even need to push. He could have taken the penalty because, by God, these two fighting is not helping them at all. Let's see if we can find other entertainment for when when Font gets overtaken, because once he gets overtaken, Sabi is gone. Let's see, we have literally nothing else. We have Sabi versus Font, and that's all the entertainment we got, looking at the gaps. But if this is your entertainment, you don't need to look at anything else. Imagine if it starts raining as well. Oh. Although Font is keeping Sabi at a gap, this might be because of the dirty air. We've already seen with Cassel that Cassel crashed because of the dirty air. So Sabi isn't out of the park yet. As you can see, he's running a bit wide. He opens the DRS. If Tichy doesn't pit, that's good for Font. If Tichy does pit, that's good for Font. Either way, as I think Sabi has made a mistake. Yeah, he must have. The gap jumped up. It's going down now because of the DRS, but Tichy gets out of the way exactly in time for Font. I think Font does get the DRS. Yeah, he did. But Sabi is still right behind him, so it doesn't matter. Janica now in P4. But Janica also has to pit. Chris also has to pit. Where's Ben in all this? Ben is doing pretty well to keep on to P9. Hell is probably going to score points, which will help Ferrari. He isn't fighting Helen and Waiworthy. Literally Waiworthy. That isn't his fight. He isn't going to fight Presumu. There is no point. There is a point here. Multiple points. And big implications for the championship. Even though Font has the 10-second time penalty, same with Shiz last race, I'm just going to look past the penalty because this racing is just amazing to see. If Font didn't have the damage, like it's only a front wing end plate, sure, but I've driven multiple cars without a front wing end plate, and I can tell you, that little piece of carbon, that little bit of tin carbon, it can mean a lot. It can be the difference between going flat out through a corner or understeering into a wall. But Font just has to hold on. Font should be able to go those 8 laps. Sabi? I doubt. Sabi will have to go to mediums. You know, even if Sabi pits, he will still beat P3. He may even get P2 again. Because of the damage, as someone has made a mistake. It's Arctic, and Arctic is out. Arctic has retired on track as well. I don't understand why people just keep retiring on track. It's against the rules, as far as I know. So, if reports do come in about it, tough luck. You're getting penalized. The reason we do that is because if you retire on track, there is a chance the safety car comes out. And it can be used as gaining an unfair advantage, as I think. Oh, that's really right from Sabi. Real big mistake. And he hasn't dropped out of DRS yet. But those tires are going. And knowing Fontenau has saved his tires quite a bit. The question is, has he saved them enough? I doubt he has. Because he's been pushing really hard to keep Sabi behind. Sabi is getting close, but keep in mind the tire wear, the dirty air also affects the tire wear, and he is out of the DRS zone. He is deploying a lot of energy battery though to stay with Fontenau, but yeah, he's now just trying to pile on the pressure, but Font can easily drive away from him. If I were Font, I may even make a pit stop. Well, not a pit stop, but actually I don't think whatever Font does, he's losing the position. Yeah, Font just loses the position, nothing he can do. I wanted to say he does have to watch out for Janica, but damn, those tires are fucked. Chris, those tires are fucked. Tichy is going to get that overtake. Elenan is going to get that overtake. Ben is going to get 9. Oh my god, Font are now! Oh! Oh. Oh, this is amazing. Well, Sabi is now just going to drop off because he has to get behind. Font is dying on the inside. Chess is just having a lovely Sunday drive. What a way to take the win. Just Made the perfect call under the safety car. Made a good starting decision, to be honest, to start on hards. Didn't flinch under the early safety car. A lot of people, Sabi, Janica, Font, no, actually not Font and Sabi, but Janica, Chris, I think Tichy as well, Edmo, they all, well, Edmo had to, his front rim was destroyed. But they all had to pit. Stitchy has made the move. Now that I look at it, Tichy is being fast compared to these other guys. Tichy may even put Font in danger. Yeah, because at the moment, Janica is just going to finish behind Font. Just. By a few tenths. Well, not a few tenths, almost a second. If Tichy overtakes Janica, then he really needs to push, I know, but stay with the hypothetical for a minute. If Tichy overtakes Janica and pulls a slight gap to him, Tichy is on the podium. Same goes for Ellinan. Well, not exactly the same, because he also needs to overtake Tichy, but Tichy is going. I want to see the last lap. Can I not see last lap? I cannot see last lap. No, I cannot see last lap. Theoretically, Tichy is on pace to do exactly that. Actually, no, Font has 15-second penalty, not 18. It was a fun hypothetical to think about, but Sabi doesn't need to make the overtake. I do want to shout out for Janica, who has spun again, and for Chris. Oh yeah, I know, Jack. I know. Sabi now also has a 3-second penalty. Oh, lovely. But yeah, I actually have the opposite. I have spent so much time in Formula 1 that I struggle with GT. I'm happy to get back into GT, but like this, I am going to miss this. Just look at them go in the DRS. The Dirty F fucking each other up. It's amazing to see. And then once again, you have Shiz just whatever in his way to the finish line. It's amazing. Tichy is pushing for all he can, but it won't matter. Janica is sticking with Font. Oh yeah, you don't have to tell me, Jack. Also, I said Font, but it is Ellinan. And now Prasimo on those newer tires is also catching. AJ just got past Ben. But Ben just needs to stay within 3 seconds of him. Maybe even more. What's the penalty yet? 3 seconds. But he will have points guaranteed. Yeah, he will also have DRS. Is his end plate also broken? Yes. So, Font is missing his left end plate. Ben is missing his right end plate. as the rain has picked up here tonight. I really need to keep an eye on the weather because it is, well, it's not thunderstorming, it is very windy, so I need to look out for power. And Ben is now losing the grip. AJ has taken better care of his tires. What else to see? We have Janica. Yeah, Janica just got overtaken. There's no way he gets the position back. It's literally Ferrari versus Alpine or Sauber versus Ferrari. And not even that anymore. Getting left by your own teammates, I know that feeling. There was good teamwork there from the Saubers. And yeah, I'm just going to... is there anything to watch? Oh, this can be interesting. A 2-lap shootout between Helenen and Tichy. Helenen has more pace overall, but Tichy has the fractured tires. So it will be interesting to see who wins this fight between these two. Okay, apparently to Jack, the Inters at the end of quali had more grip than the hards he was driving on. Wow. Okay, if Fon just gets 8 seconds, no, 11 seconds over these final few laps, he will finish ahead. He won't. Shiz is about to start the final lap. Font is going to end up in third, unless something happens, which I don't think it will. Sabi will take second. Tichy Boom is solidifying himself a bit in fourth, but he is still under pressure from Helenen. Prasmu did a good job. Janica, just look at those tires, mate. I'm surprised they haven't blown yet. But Red Bull will suffer in that fight against Williams. So that's an interesting rivalry to keep our eyes on. Yes, we'll just stick on the final sector with Shiz, to be honest. We haven't paid too much attention to our race leader. After the second round of pit stops, he just went away and never looked back. So, good job for him on that. So, oh, Janica. You don't need to push, mate. You do not need to push. As Shiz has crossed the line into turn P1. Amazing drive from him. And what a lead he was carrying. As there goes Font. He gets the 10-second time penalty, so that means that Sabi overtakes him on the line. Good job from him. Mighty, who was left, also ends his endeavor now. As Helenen got close. Not close enough. 5-10 separate the Williams and the McLaren, but the McLaren wins it. Then we have Prasmu. Really nice job into P6. No front wing. And very old tires. We have Janica in P7. Chris will come across the line in P8. AJ will score points in P9. and Ben will take that final point in P10. He slowed down a bit too much there. Edmo almost overtook him, but it wouldn't have mattered. Edmo takes P11. So there we go. We have Shiz taking their first win. Then we have Sabi taking second over championship rival Fontenau. Sabi and Font are really going to have a fight, and this win, these 25 points, will really push Aston Martin back in the place where they want to be. Don't forget, Chris also scored some solid points for Aston Martin, which will help them overtake Mercedes, whose driver had good show. Haven't showed up for 3 races in a row. Yeah, the gap at the end was 6 seconds. But yeah, like I was saying, points from Chris, they are just 4 points, but 4 points is still something to drag home, especially when none of your competitors have raced against you recently. But this was round 7 at Singapore. Next week, we're back at Qatar. After that is Imola, and then we will close off the finals in Baku. I hope you have enjoyed the race. I certainly did. But it's now time to head out. I'll see you next week.